It seems there's always been that unwritten list of our favorite Mexican restaurants scattered across Texas. And in Beaumont, Elena's occupies a space at the top of our list of culinary landmarks.
Kelly, how many times have we been here?
Every time we come to Beaumont.
Hundreds?
Thousands?
Probably so. How come we never get that big chips and dip bowl over there?
I don't know, but we should.
I'm gonna ask Elena about it.
Don't ask Elena.
If I don't ask her, I'll never get it. One of these days she'll give in and let me have it. Look at it, it's beautiful. But you know, the more I look at it, I'm not sure it really is a chips and dip bowl. One of these days she's gonna let me have it.
You know, there's just something about that bowl of chips and hot sauce, that austere air of a former life. And it just so happens that, with Elena's blessing, we know the one person in the world who can tell us more about our newly acquired salsa's centerpiece.
Good morning.
Mr. Gish, we brought something here that we're wondering about. Can you tell us anything about this?
It's a chip and dip bowl, looks like. But it was a high voltage insulator, probably made by Ohio Brass in the late 20s, looking at the glaze color.
So this is like a rare artifact you've never seen before, right?
It's not very rare at all. It's very common. It's so common, I don't really have one of these.
But you have others.
Oh, I have several others, yes.
I want to see them.
Let's see them.
All right, let's go.
I'd really like to get your professional opinion on its value.
Before it was broken, the value would probably be about $10.
$10?
Yeah.
And now that the little piece of it is broken off, it's worth...
Oh, maybe $1 for a chip and dip bowl, or
And I should keep using it.
as a chip and dip bowl. Oh, this is the main insulator room.
Main insulator room?
Yes.
Over in Lumberton, Texas, Elton Gish is known for two things: his brutal honesty and his collection of insulators.
I'll probably have many hobbies, but I got interested in insulators back 1970. I saw a few glass insulators that a neighbor had that were colorful and became interested in collecting insulators. At the time that these insulators were made, they were very important in the development of America, to bring communication across America, to bring electrical power across mountains, across plains, to develop cities. The insulator prevents the electricity from reaching the ground, and wet weather is even more important because it travels across a wet pole or wet wood to the ground. So the insulator is very important to keep the electricity in the wires and not get down to the ground.
Well, can't say we've given much thought to these bell-shaped artifacts that were once on display on their lofty perches across the American landscape. Elton, though, has spent almost 50 years counting, collecting, and cataloging glass, ceramic, and porcelain insulators.
So pretty much our whole livelihood has been dependent on these things.
Very much so. This is a very interesting insulator, and it's the only one in existence. It looks more like a cow patty, but it's made out of brick.
It's the only one?
Only one.
Amazing.
Just an oddball insulator.
So what happened to these things over time?
There are still insulators used for voltages or power lines going down the highways that we just don't notice they're there.
They're porcelain like this?
Yes, but they're not that pretty.
So who else in the world would know any of this?
Well, just have to do a lot of research.
So if I was going to do some research, you wrote the books.
Yes.
Elton's books are considered the comprehensive reference guide to insulators everywhere, and his collection is regarded as one of the best in the world.
If the house caught on fire and you could only take one insulator with you, which one would it be?
Well, it would be one downstairs.
So there's another room of insulators?
Yes, that's where I keep the rare ones.
Are there a lot of other people who collect these things?
There are over 2,500 collectors in the country at least. We have a National Insulator Association, and there are insulator collectors all over the world. This is my office and insulator room.
So this is where the most valuable insulators are.
Yes, this one right here.
This little thing here,
Yeah, it looks like a bullet.
It does.
Yeah. that's what you're going to grab if
Yes.
you have to get out of here?
It's made around 1893.
But that's not the oldest one you've got.
No,
But that's the one you'd grab.
right. There are only 2 others in existence, and they're in the Smithsonian.
Well, for something that's all but disappeared from the American landscape, Elton Gish is the one man who's securing a place in history for an overlooked yet vital part of everyone's life. And for those insulators that don't have a place in his collection, Elton says that turned upside down, they can have a second life.
Oh, don't forget this.
Oh,
Your chip and dip bowl.
You don't want it?
want it?
No, thank you.
Oh.